Following is a presentation of the Hello Chicago Network.
Hello, Chicago Network is on the air. Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Yanishatis, and it's time to focus for this Friday, November the 21st. Let's get right into it. Let's start this thing off with some good old-fashioned Bulls focus. And, of course, after a double overtime loss in Utah on Sunday, we came in on Monday showing like, well, they faced Denver. That's another loss, continuing to just play bad basketball after starting to 5-0 start. But they go into Denver, Nikola Jokic is in the game. They were missing Christian Braun, but besides that, they were able to play back and forth, able to get him. They never stopped. Bulls win. This was without Kobe White. Of course, Kobe did not play in the second of a back-to-back, just coming back from his injury. He played one game, and the Bulls win 130-127, get back on the high horse, get back into the winning ways. So a nice job there. Then Wednesday at Portland, you look at this game, and I know it was a 9:00 game. I worked third shift, so it didn't bother me. But if I was like most normal people, I would have been looking at that game up by 20. Like, okay, you can go to bed. It's okay. Game's going to be over. But no, Portland came all the way back in that game, played very well, and then all of a sudden they had a 4-point lead with like 20 seconds left. Kobe White shoots the three, makes it a 1-point game. Then I believe they miss or something like that out. Then they miss a free throw, giving the Bulls a chance. I think the Bulls they were up by 2, the Blazers then. So yeah, it was a 4-point game, then a 3, up by 1, and then one missed free throw by Portland. It was a 1-point game, and then Nikola Vucevic was able to once again get the big game-winning 3. Remember, he did it against the Philadelphia 76ers. I was just telling Brandon this. I'm like, the guy, and I actually told him that this night before this happened that I'm like, yo, the Bulls and Vucevic sometimes is useless on the floor, but you put him the ball behind the 3-point line in the fourth quarter final play, and he's there for you. And the Bulls win 121-120. They're now 8-6, and I think that's huge. Great job by Nikola Vucevic. Nice job by the Bulls. They go 2-1 on the West Coast trip. Now they play probably their toughest game in the next few weeks, and that is against Miami. That is a cup game tonight. It's a 7 p.m. start on Chicago Sportsnet Plus, and then Saturday they'll start a stretch against some winnable games. That if as long as they don't play down to the bottom of to their competition, they should be able to get some of those wins back after being 5 games over 500. Tonight's game against the Heat are going to be tough, but then they play the Wizards 7 p.m. on Saturday on Chicago Sportsnet. So I think that's where you're going to have to see this team. As long as in the next month by Christmas, if you look at some of they got games against Washington, they have 2 against Indiana. They have some games that they can win. So as long as you don't play down to the level of your competition, this Bulls team can get right back to where they were 5-6 games over by Christmas. And I think that's exactly what this team needs. So the Bulls win 130-127 over Denver. And then Wednesday, a win with a game-winning shot by Nikola Vucevic, 121-120. They play the Heat for another Emirates Cup matchup. Bulls are 1-1 in that. That is tonight at the United Center, 7 p.m. on Chicago Sportsnet Plus, and then Saturday against the Wizards, 7 p.m. start on Chicago Sportsnet. Take a time out here on Hello Chicago Network. When we come back, we talk about the Blackhawks. So far, playing some pretty good playoff-like hockey. Tough break Thursday night. That's next. We'll talk about that on Hello Chicago Network. Now, I told you the last 2 weeks, I text Brandon, who's, of course, on Raise the Bar TV every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. with Anthony. You'll see the promo in the first break. But I text him, season's over. This time I was confident. What the hell's getting into me? I was confident with 56 seconds left, this team was going to get down the field and at least get into field goal range. Well, what a Duvernay able to get that run back of past the 50, then able to get in field goal range. Cairo Santos did miss a field goal earlier, so I was nervous. I was watching this with my whole family. My dad's like, he's not going to make it. He already missed one, so that made me nervous. So then he makes it. Bears win 19-17. They're now 7-3. Last year they had 5 wins. They got their 5th win on the last day of the season.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. I said the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Yes, the boys are back in town every Tuesday and Thursday on Raise the Bar TV. Brandon McGrath, Brandon James, Anthony Smoody. They're talking all the sports, and they're back on Raise the Bar TV. I take over Monday and Friday, 3:15. 3:12, of course, on Hello Chicago Network. So Raise the Bar TV, full week of sports. And don't forget also Ringside Report the next 2 weekends, pay-per-views. And of course, a busy one today at 4 o'clock. We'll have the warm-up for Full Gear. So immediately following this, I got to get into wrestling mode then for the rest of the weekend. So looking forward to that as well. So the boys are back in town, Brandon, Anthony, and you'll see Brandon and Anthony in the warm-up. Never sure who's going to show up for the wrap-up or not. The wrap-up will be Sunday at 10 a.m. because at noon will be Fan Focus Live. Bears, Steelers, I'll be watching exclusively on Raise the Bar TV. Okay, now let's talk about the Blackhawks. And it's kind of fun to focus on the Chicago Blackhawks as of late. First on Tuesday, they had a game. It was early on. It was the Flames got it up back to a tie game. It was 2-2 at one point. Blackhawks able to get right back in there, get the goal. I believe this was the second career hat trick as the Blackhawks win of a final of 5-2. Second career hat trick for Connor Bedard. So the Blackhawks win 5-2. Then Thursday against the Kraken, which is Eddie Olczyk's new team. So, and that's pretty interesting as well because just being able to see him come back to the United Center, former voice, former player of the Blackhawks. But Blackhawks had a 2-0 lead at one point. I was watching this on our Gamecast. I checked the score while I was at work. Blackhawks were up 2-0 going to the third. I'm like, oh, what can go wrong? Well, then I check it's 3-2. They lose 3-2 to the Kraken, so they're now 10-6 and I think it's 10-6-4. So obviously, still a really good record as the Blackhawks, as of late, have not been looked like a playoff caliber or over 500 team when you have all the teams in Chicago going into Thanksgiving over 500. But apparently it was 2-2 the score. And then Connor Bedard had an opportunity to break away, missed call. Then Bedard gets a penalty for arguing the call. And then the Kraken get the game winning goal and 3-2 the final. So that one, hopefully don't hurt in the long run. Hopefully they can get back at it. As tonight they're back home, or they're in Buffalo tonight, 6 p.m. on Chicago Sports. And then Sunday they'll face the best team in the Western Conference. So that'll be a test for them. Home at the United Center, 6 p.m. on Chicago Sportsnet against the Colorado Avalanche. So nice win against Calgary, tough loss against the Kraken. You'd love at least, I always say, and it seems like they've been able to do that. It's nice to be able to at least get into overtime where this team's then at least able to get a point, but unfortunate. So they beat the Flames 5-2. They lose to the Kraken 3-2. They got the Sabres on Friday tonight, 6 p.m. Chicago Sportsnet, and then Sunday they'll be home against the Avalanche, 6 p.m. on Chicago Sportsnet. So that is the weekend for the Blackhawks. And again, they're trying to get all these games in because with the Olympics and all that stuff coming out in February, I think there's very few games in February this year. So they're getting all these games in. Take a time out here on Hello Chicago Network. When we come back, we'll focus on the Wildcats and the Bears. But first, it's time. This is number 4 of 5 of my free agent pool where where I'm predicting and telling you where players are going. I'm gonna tell you it all, and that's right. Let's focus right now on the free agent pool. The fourth one, I believe this is the high-end pitchers. Final one will be on Friday, and then we'll have the final one will be on Monday. Then we're off for Thanksgiving, and the following Monday, I'll give you already our first update. So that's free agency kind of moving fast. So we'll see how that goes. So stick around for that. But now stick around for this focus, the most important focus, Orion focus. Yeah, as you saw right there, the list of the free agents continue. The final one will be on Monday's show, and then we'll give you our first update. There's already 3 guys off that board already, and we'll give you the update on my record. As last year I was 2-17-1, so I'm not very good at this, but nonetheless. And also don't forget Fan Focus Live exclusively on the Hello Chicago Network. Or exclusively on Raise the Bar TV, because if it's a Friday Fan Focus, then we do it on the Hello Chicago Network YouTube channel. So we're going to try to watch the game together. We'll see if that'll be able to be the case without them kicking us off. So we'll watch it together. We'll go live at noon. Still don't know about Aaron Rodgers. We'll get into that in a minute. But first, it's time for let's focus on the Northwestern Wildcats. Okay, let's focus on these Northwestern Wildcats. It's a big game for Northwestern because you don't want to go into that last game. Right now they're 5-5. Again, it's been an up and down year. They lost their first game of the year, and they've kind of been back and forth ever since. We're starting to see that. It looked like in that first game, you're like, oh no, we have a quarterback that can't do anything. But Preston Stone's kind of been playing better football. Komolafe, obviously, you wanted Cam Porter back in there. Unfortunately, he got hurt in the home opener, so they haven't really had him. He's out for the year. So you're really hoping. I mean, they need one more win to at least play a bowl game. Something we could talk about coming out of the winter break. At least some, because I mean, we're on a roll with Chicago sports. The Cubs, they talk playoffs. Bears right now. So I mean, you want to continue that momentum. So all they need is one more win. They're hosting Minnesota this Saturday, 11 a.m. Big Ten Network. That's the final game at Wrigley Field. And then if not, it's going to come down to a must-win against Illinois in Champaign next Sunday. So, or the following Saturday to close it out. So you'd like to go into that one a little easy. Illinois not as tough as they have been in the past, but still, you don't want to do that. Do it at Wrigley with your home crowd. And I mean, I know there was a lot of Michigan fans last week. I'm sure some Minnesota fans are going to make the trip to Wrigley Field as it is a destination. So we'll see how it goes. So hopefully the Wildcats can get the W, and then we could talk about them being bowl eligible. You don't want to see them lose all these games at the end of the year and unfortunately not get in. So it'll be Wildcats, Minnesota, final game at Wrigley Field for them. And then their next home game will be next year when they will be unveiling the new Ryan Field. Okay, so that's Northwestern. Now let's preview the Chicago Bears. Let's focus, guys. Okay, Bears Steelers. Of course, we will have this one live, Fan Focus Live, hopefully with the game on the Raise the Bar TV. Go to Facebook for that one. I'm probably that night I will have the highlights posted on the YouTube channel of Hello Chicago Network. But since it's a Sunday, not an actual show, and we can't show the game, YouTube kicks us off. We learned that last a couple of focuses ago. So we're going to try to do it on the Raise the Bar TV one. So I'll go on the live at noon. And then the question is Aaron Rodgers playing? Because once again, Aaron Rodgers had to make a Bear Packer thing or a game in general just about him. So all week the question has been, is Aaron Rodgers playing? By the time this airs, you might already have the answer to that. But still, at the same time, he wants to go out to 25-5 against the Bears as Aaron Rodgers. But this isn't Packers Aaron Rodgers. Jets Aaron Rodgers was a little sketchy, but what are we going to get from Steelers Aaron Rodgers? I guess he does have a left fracture. I believe it's a fracture in his hand. Won't need surgery, but if he's going to play, there's either going to be one or two outcomes. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the Aaron Rodgers of old, and I'm going to sit there miserable on Fan Focus Live on Raise the Bar TV, or he goes out there and the Bears really are, because the Bears continue every week to shock me. So if they can go out there again, play a great football game, and also beat Aaron Rodgers on the path to get their 8th win of the year, and you're really looking at playoffs, that could be huge. So we'll see what we get from there. A lot of injuries in the middle. I guess there's like 3 middle linebackers out, so you're onto your 4th string of that. Then you got to shift gear. Jalen Johnson might be back. So as much as you're getting healthy, guys are still falling. You want to see another great game from Caleb Williams. As the Bears go into this week, how many times are we ever going to be able to say this? They're going into a week in first place in the NFC North. We'll see if they can hold that. Nobody believes in them outside of the Chicago market. So let's see if they can tell some people, okay, calm down and watch this team play. So we'll see if that'll be the case. That'll be a noon start, CBS. You can watch that. Or I'm going to be doing Fan Focus Live Sunday noon right on Raise the Bar TV. I go on the air. We get ready. We watch the game together, and it should be fun. And hopefully in a Bears win as they try to get their 8th win of the season before Black Friday against the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll see how it goes. I think they have the chance to win. I think they got to be able to, stop this team. We'll see if they can. And also, if it's Aaron Rodgers, he's not going to go down without a fight. And it's probably his final game in Chicago. And he hasn't played a game in Chicago in a few years. Remember, he's been a New York Jet. He was out for the year the first year. And then last year he played, but the Bears have not played the Jets. So we'll see how that goes. So that'll be Sunday. We'll be opening up Monday's show with that. So I'll be with you again on Sunday for Fan Focus Live Bears Steelers. If you're a wrestling fan, Raise the Bar or Ringside Reports warm up for AEW's Full Gear coming up at 4 p.m. Central. We'll have the wrap up at 10 a.m. on Sunday. So a full weekend here of Raise the Bar TV when you have wrestling, and then you're going to have football on Sunday. And then we're back here to kick off the week Monday, 3:15 on Raise the Bar TV, 3:12. Don't forget to like this video if you like what you hear. Comment if you have anything, how you feel about the Bears going in. I feel like they have a chance to win because this team has started to give me confidence that watch this team play and how they play that they can win. And also subscribe to the Hello Chicago Network YouTube channel. Every Monday and Friday, we are focusing on Chicago sports. So everyone, a busy weekend. You're going to see me throughout all weekend on Raise the Bar TV, and we'll recap it all and talk about it all on Monday, 3:12 Central, and on the YouTube channel, and then 3:15 on Raise the Bar TV. I'm Ryan Yanishatis from the Hello Chicago Network. And don't forget, next Thursday, Thanksgiving night, My Life, My Way 3, Chase for 30, as I finished my quest in the spring. 30, seeing all the active ballparks. We're going to find all that. That'll be airing Thanksgiving night, 6:30 Central on the Hello Chicago Network YouTube channel. Everyone have a great weekend. I'm Ryan Yanishatis from the Hello Chicago Network. We're the focus of Chicago sports.
This will be legit. This is the first time I'm actually putting it on, and now I feel like I'm in the middle of a press conference where they sit and wait, but I haven't tried this on. Looks good. Feels good.